Hello and welcome. My name is Phantomlord, and this is going to be a game that I will commentate on that happened earlier today with Saintvicious and a few other players at about the 2K ELO rating. Something happened this game that was pretty interesting, and I want to show the community and have them, maybe, if they like it, have an attempt at it. The game is going to be not that long, about 24 minutes, but it will have something new that a few players might enjoy. We have Lee Sin and Saint doing a double jungle strategy, both players acquiring Smite. A few good laughs going out here at the start to show the excitement and how much fun we're all having going into this match.
Minions have spawned.
Both junglers look like they're going to be starting at race here. Lee Sin is going to be tanking while Saint takes the last hits. Saint's going to be the jungler that will have the most damage and gold, so it'll be the strongest of the two. And Lee Sin will be the jungler that will be tanking most of the time. For the rest of the match, we have me going top lane, Swain versus Riven. We have no one going mid lane to start. To throw the Ahri off, she's going to, for this first few minutes, be really worried about what's going to happen. Is she going to be ganked? Is she going to have the entire team appear out of nowhere and kill her? So this is a strategy that we're imposing. We're having Vayne and Soraka start bottom lane, and here we have Soraka then coming up to mid to take that lane. Both junglers now starting blue, and actually deciding to not take it. Instead, they're going to go back, and it looks like take the race. Interesting strategy. Both junglers now looking like they're going to gank top lane. Lee Sin leading the way against a lane that's pushed, and looks like they're going to decide to not do it, but instead go back and continue jungle. Saint getting a lovely smite over the wall there. Great way to save a few seconds on that cooldown. Both players still having a great time going through the jungle. Now going for the wolves. Top lane being pushed right now, nothing really much going on. Bottom lane we have Vayne holding out 2v1 against an Alistair Graves. And the jungler is actually deciding not to take that blue yet again. Soraka, unfortunately, dying here against an Udyr and Ahri gank, but looks like our jungle team, the Roman gank force, is now going to go in mid and get a follow-up gank here. I actually died top, but we're going to continue watching. Lisa going in first now to get the hit on Udyr. Udyr getting exhausted, but Lee backing out. Well, Saint takes most of the damage and gets the kill on Ahri. Lee deciding to stay, gets a last-second flash, but unfortunately dies. Lee looks like he should have committed a little bit more in that fight instead of backing out. But both players getting a 1-to-1 exchange there in that fight. Bottom lane we have Vayne backing out to go back to base. Soraka now back in mid. I'm back at top after my first death to Riven in the lane. I'm going to need a gank here, so I do communicate in chat by our roaming gank force that I do need a gank. Jason deciding to start red. Saint will most likely be picking this up as he is the stronger of the two. There's this first smite by the Lee and the following smite by Saint. There we go, he has the red, and of course both players are going to be ganking top now after I communicated. Lee revealing himself, but Riven does not respond in time. Saint getting a nice pillar, but Riven will get away, unfortunately. But no worries, both junglers will return into their routine, get stronger, more gold, more items, and continue ganking.
An enemy has been slain.
Vayne getting a kill on Alistair, but dying afterwards to Graves, so doing a great job holding out in this 2-to-1 lane that we're seeing. Jungler's finishing off the Wraiths, heading over to the Wolves. Looks like they'll be taking the blue here finally. Interesting strategy. Both junglers want to take these buffs as late as possible so that they will have them running for when they do decide to gank. But unfortunately, the blue looks like it's been stolen. Checking to see if Dragon is still up, and it is. And there's the Udyr. They catch Saint getting a nice pillar, but Lee deciding to leave. Saint is left alone, so is forced to run away without his partner. Lee, I do not know what he's thinking. Saint now running, getting caught by Alistair, getting a full combo up. Udyr gets his stun. Nice ward thrown out of there by Alistair, getting the vision ahead, but Lee is waiting to protect and doesn't react fast enough, so Saint unfortunately will fall. Lee needs to remember to stick to that strategy of the Roman gank force. Soraka mid doing a really good job against that laning Ahri, but top lane I died to a Riven that was really close to death. And we have our Vayne doing really well bottom against the 2v1 Alistair. Lee leaving Saint to take the CS in the lane, and Udyr shows up now to gank the Lee Sin. Lee Sin getting away, getting a exhaust, but deciding to completely bail instead. Leaves Saint to fight Udyr on his own. I get a flash in, and unfortunately Saint falls, but I do pick up the kill here and make it out just fine. Lee completely backing off, still not following with that roaming gank force. Saint, however, will respawn and join back up with Lee Sin. I do have the red buff now top lane. Getting a ward to cover myself. Vayne being now to buy a few items. Soraka doing just fine now in mid lane. Roaming gank force will be doing a nice ward. Saint will actually pick up that ward that was placed by Ahri. Lee going in to get a gank but misses his Q. So it looks like they might take their blue now after all. No, instead they decide to leave it and take wolves. Udyr revealing himself, but they continue to take those wolves. Udyr engaging now on Lee Sin, and Lee falls while Saint runs away. Getting ganked now by Alistar, and Graves barely making it out. And unfortunately, no, he does fall to the 4-man gank. Alistar choosing to push past and fight Vayne, but Vayne focuses and Alistar is forced to force his ult. Udyr now coming in to fight it. Vayne flashes away. Udyr stuns on top of the tower. Alistar now follows up. Udyr gets exhausted by Vayne, and a heal pops out by Alistar. Soraka shows up to assist Vayne in the fight, heals Vayne. Vayne gets a killing blow on Udyr, but Riven kills me top lane while Vayne gets another double kill, and here comes our roaming gank force. However, Soraka gets the killing blow on Alistar and catches the Graves to get another kill. Vayne and Soraka getting a double kill this game. Both of the players are doing extremely well. Roaming gank force deciding to take the bottom lane farm. What's great about this strategy is both players can kill the minions extremely fast, as well as the creeps. Here we have me choosing to join in to the roaming gank force, making a try gank force. Now this little squad will have a lot of CC, as you see the pillar and the stun demonstrated by me and Saint. Here we have the roaming gank squad going into a first gank, and Graves and Ahri get all their ult popped off as Lee falls, but all three of the players do die. Fortunate indeed. A 3-to-1 exchange. Saint and the Lee dropping almost instantly. Soraka now running for her life and gets a little assist by that Alistar. Some great 2k ELO play here. Soraka getting a flash now to follow that Udyr. Udyr does not decide to follow. Alistar is following, however. And there we see the Udyr following, getting a flash over the wall into the tower with no HP. Soraka getting the killing blow. not the best decision for that Udyr. And here we have our Roman Gang squad grouping up yet again, laughing and having a great time, taking down that red buff extremely fast, having both of those smites go up. And Riven gets caught by the Gank Force, gets all CC abilities thrown off. Lee Sin and I decide to flash over, getting the slow. Saint gets his all off, Lee gets the killing blow. Saint deciding to follow and engage, but Lee Sin just decides to leave, while Soraka stays and unfortunately falls to the graves. And Ahri, Lee Sin, for the third or fourth time, deciding to just leave the fight instead of sticking to his teammate in that Roman Gang Force. Vayne now getting focused here, and mid Lee jumps in to protect. So much damage coming out of that Ahri, but the tower does keep them off as they both pull away with barely any HP. And here we see an example of Satan and I sticking to each other, showing that Lee Sin, those are the abilities we need to use in synergy to get ganks, pillar and stun. Making sure our leader in this Roman Gang Force understands the potential. He gets a nice engage onto the Udyr, but gets hit by Ahri, almost instantly bursted down at half HP, but decides to back out. Saint and I continuing to fall through. Saint diving in, taking most of the damage, doing a really good job, but falls, and Lee decides to attack the minions instead. After just communicating what our potential was in base, Lee decides to not listen and instead follow through, but does get a nice kill onto that Ahri as Soraka and I finish off grades here in mid. Saint spawns to group back up with the Lee, and as do I.
An ally has been slain.
All of us having a great time playing some League of Legends, enjoying ourselves with a few laughs. Lee does find Riven half health in our jungle, but she does get away. As we continue to clear out the jungle, getting stronger to make our next gank even more of a threat against the enemy team. Here we see another example of the strength of this Roman Gang Force, killing the minion wave really fast to then leave and go assist the team elsewhere. Udyr jumps in and gets caught with the Ahri. Saint taking a lot of damage here. Lee getting the exhaust onto the Udyr. Saint following through. Saint though taking a lot of damage, does fall down as the Lee and I both get away. Soraka coming to support, getting a nice heal onto Lee, and players to get away just in time. I'm throwing a few wards down in case Lee wants to jump. Alistair does the same, but there's no Lee Sin on his team, so I don't understand why he would do that. Those wards are great objects to jump to in case Lee needs to, and they're all in the similar space in case he wants to jump a little bit further, a little bit more of an angle, or ahead. Here we have Vayne popping her ult, getting an engagement onto Graves. Saint popping a nice pillar far ahead in case they run away. Saint taking a lot of damage as Lee decides to run around, going for that Ari. Gets his Q off. Saint does fall, but we have Vayne finish off the Graves ahead as Lee does get the killing blow on Ari. And here we have Alistar running away, but look at that ward control. Oh man, something that is a really good strategy that a lot of players need to try and pull off in a scenario like this is put down a wards in a trail. Look at that curvature blocking the Alistar from getting away. The tower, of course, has the clipping so he can't run through, and the wards being placed at the perfect angle to block him so that he gets cut off. And there you see the result of him dead. So great play there. Lee deciding to take our red buff even though he already had one. Saint grouping back up, and here I am getting back into the roaming gang squad. Riven kills Soraka in the lane, unfortunately. And here we have a nice bait by me bringing over the Udyr to our roaming gang squad. We have Saint pop down a nice pillar. Riven pops her ult. Saint taking a lot of damage as always, and Lee again just deciding to leave. I fall down, and he does get out of the fight. Vayne getting some farm bottom, but does decide to B and come back and support the team. Blue side getting their first inhib of the game. Vayne popping her ult. Lee getting a Q, but gets baited by Ari jumping over the wall and killing Vayne almost instantly. However, Saint comes into the fight, getting a nice pillar on Ari to block and save his teammate as Lee gets away nicely, but does not stay to support, and Saint falls as a result. I come in to help, but Ari gets a nice flash and kills me. Lee surviving in base, but not supporting his team. Blue team now taking their first Nexus turret. Lee jumps in to get some damage to take their attention away as Soraka responds and gets a nice silence. Unfortunately, that tower does fall. Lee getting a nice Q. Alistar getting too close to the fountain. Pops his ult, gets a lot of damage off. Soraka gets a flash, gets away. Vayne pushes the Udyr into the wall, and Lee gets the killing blow as Saint gets the killing blow on Ari, and Lee gets the finisher on Graves. Great teamwork there. Here we have another perfect example of the roaming gank force clearing a wave extremely fast and then proceeding to the next wave. Vayne getting a kill on Riven top, one-on-one. Great job by her. Now, our leader, Lee Sin, decides to pursue further into our jungle to get more of these jungle creeps so that our team does have that extra gold and XP. Getting a ward into Baron there. And we do see that Udyr does start the Baron. We have two junglers now with Smite. So, and both of them with Wriggles. So, as steal could happen, we have Ari jumping over the wall, getting a lot of burst and blowing me up. Saint creeps around the corner as Lee Sin jumps back and forth, trying to wait for the opportunity now to get the gank. He lands a Q onto Baron. Saint gets close to see if Baron is low enough, but it is not, and he gets focused and burnt down. While Lee just decides to bail, even though both of his teammates were attempting to steal that Baron. Instead, using his smite on a minion. Udyr chasing Lee now into his base. Udyr getting a nice flash and missing his stun onto the base. Ari focusing down me, but I can flash away onto the tower. He gets a nice cute follow-up. Saint's getting pinned onto the wall. Graves finishes off Saint, and Vayne getting pushed around by Alistair. Riven throwing her ult, but missing Vayne. Vayne does finish off the Riven as I try to catch the Graves. He gets away. The blue team takes the win.
Defeat.
So there we have a new sort of strategy. Not really that new, has been used a few times, the double jungler strat, but unfortunately the team synergy did not work, and the blue team proved to be the better of the two teams, taking down a lot of those team fights and winning the game overall. So hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.